doing it. Your clients are coming. Your message is landing. Hooray! I'm so excited for you. But lately, you might be wondering, can I finally slow down on just a little bit? You could, but I don't recommend it. I want to introduce you to the concept of leverage if you've never heard it before. And frankly, if you have heard it, you might not be leveraging it. Here are three ideas that can help you with leverage. The first is continued momentum. You want to continue momentum in your business, it requires leverage. Have you ever heard of Newton's first law of motion? That something in motion stays in motion and something at rest stays at rest? That is, unless you do introduce something that takes it out of that state. You don't want to do that. The goal isn't actually to work harder, it's time to change your view on how you actually get things done so that you can work smarter. Enter the concept of energy matched systems. And if you've never heard of energy matched systems before, they are technically systems and workflows that honor your natural rhythm as an individual and your energy levels. Because we're all individuals and we all work our own special ways. So when you can align these systems to match you, it makes things a lot easier. So rather than force you into the grind, they're actually freeing you up for more. They aren't, like I said, they're not about doing less, but they are about doing what's aligned with you so that you can create and keep momentum instead of creating burnout for yourself. It's the difference between responding to emails all day and having your email open versus having a client communication system, a process, or a VA to do a lot of that for you. And also, if you're feeling really scattered, trying to post your social media every day versus batching it for 1 hour, 3 hours at a time, either the Monday that you're of the week, or the best time to do it is the week before. So you know that you have all that done. You can hit the ground running on Monday with the things that are most important to your business, not constantly posting social media. Another could be making decisions on the fly versus having a clear delegation and decision system so that your team knows exactly what needs to happen next. Or you know exactly what needs to happen next when you're trying to put out fires, because fires pop up. Another thing that you can also do is really think through what fires tend to pop up for me all the time and figure out what system or more what patterns that you notice with those fires, and then find ways to either prevent them or respond to them quickly so you're not having to do that work all the time. I have a client who I work with who used to be completely scattered. She served two different kinds of clients and she allowed them to text her and email her every day, anytime, every day during the week, and sometimes on the weekends. And what she was getting was more and more frustrated and overwhelmed with her business because her clients were just expecting so much of her time. And when we started working together, what she realized is that she didn't have to do it that way. We looked at her schedule and we batched them. She's working with two different types of clients. So for the first 2 days of the week, she was working on her business. The second 2 days of the week, she was working with one set of clients. And then for the last 2 days of the week, she was working with another set of clients. So what it looked like was Monday and Tuesday, working on her business. Wednesday and Thursday, working with a certain set of clients and overlapping a little bit on Thursday. And then Thursday and Friday, she was working with the other set of clients. And what she told me recently, as I was asking how this process was going for her, she's been doing it for about 3 months. She goes, Dana, I love my business again. I didn't know I could do that. I was getting so frustrated. This is why when you put systems in place, it makes things easier. You're able to get more done and you're leveraging the momentum that you've started. Another thing that you can do to leverage momentum is the woman power, or what I call the woman power of smart processes. So, examples of smart processes might be an automated onboarding system for your clients or an automated onboarding system for your employees. You could repurpose content that you've had in the past for your social media, and you can delegate those emails that we talked about to an administrative assistant or a virtual assistant. Processes are your business's nervous system. They keep everything moving along without your constant attention and input. Processes are very important. So, what can you delegate that you're doing now? I recommend that if you haven't, take out a pen and a piece of paper and write that down. What can you delegate that you're currently doing now that you don't need to be? Another question is, what is something that you could outsource because it feels so overwhelming? Here's an example. I'm looking at all of the things that I'm doing within my business and I'm trying to think, what could I outsource to make my day-to-day a lot easier? One of those things could be I could hire somebody to get me booked on podcasts. I don't like doing that. I don't understand the whole system. That is not my zone of genius, but it is someone else's zone of genius. So I can bring them in and both of us win. Another question that you could ask yourself and write down is, what automations have you been eyeing but not using? I had someone drop into my DM on LinkedIn the other day, and she was asking me questions about how I connect with my team. And I said, well, we don't really have a process or an online program that we use. We talk to each other, we email each other. A lot of the times we talk to each other, and there's processes that could be better streamlined, I think. And then I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, as I grow, I'm going to need to have something like that. So now I'm looking into an automation or a system that will help me communicate with my team in a way that we're all on the same page. And that's what happens as you continue to grow. And number 3, this last one is really, really important. So get that pen back out, because this is where you should not let up at all in your business. And it's my favorite topic. It's leadership. Leadership is a term that's used a lot. You can Google it, you can put it in the search features on all of social media, and you're going to find so many posts out there and so much information about leadership, and it can be really confusing for you. But I want you to look at it in a different way. Leadership is a very powerful verb. It's an action. Leadership, when used correctly in your business, can include communication, clear communication with your team and your clients. Here's the thing. Communication is the foundation. Clear communication is the foundation for good leadership. If you don't have clear communication, it's going to be difficult for you to be an effective leader. So you want to stay in constant communication with your team. And as you bring new team members on, you want to make sure that you're communicating with them early and often with what your expectations are. I'm not suggesting micromanaging. I'm suggesting making sure that they know what your values are and they know what their goal is. What are they trying to achieve? The same with your clients. You want to communicate with them as often as possible. They need to have a clear roadmap as to what each step is along the way so that they know that what they're heading towards and what they're going to be achieving. It makes everything easier for you. It makes everything easier for them. That's logic, and we all want to know what the next step is. Another one is honoring the vision of your business. Why did you start your business in the first place? Do you know that, or do you remember that? If you don't, go back and write it down and make sure that you truly understand where you're trying to go in your business. What is it that your business is trying to achieve? Who do you serve? Take that vision and write it down and put it up on the wall. You want to make sure that you and your team, and technically your clients, know what that is all the time, because it keeps you driving forward and it doesn't take you off on all of these little side roads of your journey. You've got to be focused and you've got to go straight towards your vision, and keeping that in front of you is what's going to allow you to do that. It's also really essential for you to invest in your own leadership mindset. Whether you like it or not, I'm here to tell you, if you started a business, you are the CEO of that business. Think about that for a minute. You are the CEO of your business. Even if the only employee in your business is you have to understand how to lead yourself before you can lead others that you would bring onto your business. If you can't lead yourself, there's work to do there to understand what leadership is and how you can get better at things like communication, like leading a team, like casting your vision and making sure that everybody's rowing in that direction. And your clients are going to notice if you're not leading yourself. And clients are going to notice if you're not effectively leading your team because your processes will be broken. So I'd love it if you would comment below and just tell me one area that you could put a smarter process in place right now. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to cheer you on in the comment section. Now we're going to focus on something that we all hit. The moment of business that everyone hits at some point, and that is the moment when success starts to feel like suffocation because you haven't leveraged your momentum. You've got to be able to recognize the signs when this is starting to come on. Emotional fitness or flatness. Your emotional fitness isn't very good and you come out with a flat affect. You have decision fatigue. You're not sure what to do next. You don't have a clear path. And so you're always making decisions that don't have a clear outcome, or you change your mind a lot. You might start getting irritable with your clients or your team, and that does not bode well for you or your business. And frankly, it doesn't bode well for them. They don't want to be part of that. Another thing you might be doing is procrastination. So many people procrastinate because they're not clear on where it is that they're trying to go, or they're not clear on what they're trying to do or how it fits into part of the whole. So what's going on here is not just stress. It's not stress necessarily. It's your system that you've built. It's wavering. It's waving a little white flag and it's saying something isn't working here. And not only is your business system doing that, but your body might be doing that as well. It's saying, I'm getting overwhelmed. I cannot push forward. And so you need to be able to identify some of those signs so that you can recalibrate or you can go back to your vision and fix that. And then the second one is you can recenter yourself with 3 R's. So they're pretty easy and you're going to want to write these down. First is rest. Second is reflection. And third is reconnection. So in terms of rest, what you can do, especially when you're really busy, this is a really easy thing to do. If you're doing a lot of things during the day and you're working straight from 8 to 5 or whatever hours you're working, take micro breaks during the day. Just take little breaks where you walk around your house, you walk around your office, you walk outside around the block really quick. It's not going to take a lot of time, but it resets your brain. It might even be as simple as just getting up or stretching. But those micro breaks break your day up in sections so that your mind can recalibrate itself to focus on what's at hand. You could take CEO days. I like these. CEO days are where you just take time off from the complete operation of your business and you put into yourself. Because the fact is, if your cup is empty, you're not going to be able to fill anyone else's cup. When your cup is full and it's flowing out over into that saucer, you're able to fill other people's cups and your cup stays full as well. And then finally, in rest, sleep is so, so important. And I cannot stress this enough. Good quality sleep is how your brain reconnects all of the little synapses that were broken during the day. Your brain needs sleep and rest so that it's not always focusing on your business. When you get good rest, you're able to come back the next day refreshed and ready to go. The second R that we talked about was reflection. So, for reflection, you want to revisit your why. Why did you start this business? Your vision. What's the vision you're going towards? And look at those against your calendar. Does your calendar reflect your why and your vision? And more importantly, your values. Are they reflecting each other? If not, you need to take a good look at your calendar and identify what you're doing day to day that isn't reconnecting with your why. And finally, reconnection. Reconnecting with yourself in ways like journaling. Journaling is incredibly powerful. None of us do it enough. However, it is a way for you to work through the things that are going on in your mind that continually repeat themselves in a way that is using writing as a way to connect to your brain, that's different than what we use on the computer. It's basically interrupting a system and gives you a different perspective. Also, getting back out with nature. One of my favorite things to do is going for a walk in nature, because what happens is I get so focused on my business. When I get out there in nature, I realize things don't have to go so fast. I realize that there's this whole world out there around me that can fill me up and build me back up so that I can go back and I can serve people at a higher level. And coaching. Coaching is really important. Coaching can help you look at things from a different perspective. And good coaches will do that. And they will call you on your stuff so that you take a step back and you think, okay, I'm going in the right direction, or maybe I should consider it this way. The other part of reconnection is reconnecting with people, reconnecting with others, your community. Reconnect with your community. It could be an online community. It could be any kind of community. Another way to reconnect is through a mastermind. I teach a couple of masterminds, and let me tell you, my thought process has changed so much because of the ideas and the aha moments that other people go through. But we also share those ideas and aha moments, and we all rise when we're in a mastermind together. Another thing that you can do is, if you don't have enough money for a coach, get a mentor. Ask somebody that's ahead of you in business to mentor you for a certain amount of time. I will say mentors are great, but if you can pay for a coach, what happens is you're paying for that outcome and you're more likely to achieve that goal because you have skin in the game. And free is no skin in the game, and it's really easy to get out of. Mentors are great when you are early on and you just don't have the money, but ongoing coaches and professional development is extremely important. So who do you turn to when you need all of these? We talked about coaches. A coach that you hire needs to understand high achieving women and what all goes on in our worlds. Hello, I am a coach for high achieving women. A community that normalizes support. And I'm not talking about just getting in a community that celebrates all of your successes. Business is not linear. You're not going success all the way up. Business is more like this. And when you're in those down times, you need a community that will support you, that understands what you're going through and can help take you to that next level. And third, if you're in a place where what's holding you back is deeply seated, it could be from childhood, it could be from a past trauma, a therapist is really going to be the person that can help take you to that place. Coaches only go a certain level, and their goal is to help you move forward. Therapists can take you back to where those deep-seated problems are and help you work through them so that you can move forward with your coach. You don't have to white knuckle your business. That's not what it's all about. You can't white knuckle your way to the next level. You deserve to feel good while you're growing your business. And if you're craving sustainable success, it might be time to stop doing it yourself and being supported in it. Hiring somebody who can walk you along the way and help you find the next step. If any of this resonated with you today, I would really appreciate it if you would hit subscribe. Don't forget to comment and send this to a fellow woman entrepreneur who needs to hear it. And if you're feeling the nudge for real support, check out the link in the description to book a free leadership visioning session with me where we can look at what's going on in your business and I can help you find that next step. And if it makes sense, maybe we can do more work together. I look forward to meeting you. I thank you for watching me. I'll see you next time on Next Level Leadership.